Just remember, if you get mad, you're not getting mad at me, you're getting mad at the facts, all of which will be proven directly from your most trusted sources. So, defend your prophet, if you're able. Now, 4 out of the 5 nauseating facts you're about to ponder are unknown to almost everyone, especially to Muslims. Only one of them is slowly becoming common knowledge. This means that if you share these facts with your Muslim friends, 4 out of 5 of these facts will be almost completely new information to them. So let's go ahead and start with the one fact on my list that lots of Muslims and non-Muslims have heard about in the past decade or so. Muhammad had sex with a prepubescent 9-year-old girl. Sahih al-Bukhari, 5133. Narrated Aisha that the Prophet wrote the marriage contract with her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old, and then she remained with him for 9 years, i.e. till his death. The Muslim sources report that Aisha was playing on a swing when some women came to get her and take her to her husband. She was carrying her dolls as they led her to Muhammad's house, and we know how things must have unfolded once she got to his house. Clearly, he laid her down, took away her dolls, climbed on top of her, and forced his penis inside her. She didn't understand what was happening because no one bothered to tell her about sex. Frightened and confused, she cried because of the pain and bled all over her prophet's bed. Muhammad was more than 50 years old when he forced his penis inside his prepubescent 9-year-old child bride. But don't let that keep you from believing that he is, according to Surah 33, verse 21 of the Quran, a beautiful pattern of conduct. The number 4 most disgusting fact about Muhammad: Muhammad encouraged his followers to suck on each other's fingers. Islam is the only religion I'm aware of that promotes finger sucking. Sahih al-Bukhari, 5456. Narrated Ibn Abbas, the Prophet said, "When you eat, do not wipe your hands till you have licked it or had it licked by somebody else." Long story short, Allah hides a blessing somewhere in your food, but you don't know where the blessing is hidden, so you should lick your fingers. If you want someone else to have the blessing, you tell him to lick your fingers. You definitely don't want to simply wipe your hands on a napkin, because then the blessing will be on the napkin and Satan will steal it. Now, if you don't know much about how germs spread and why it's a bad idea to be sucking on other people's fingers, no worries. The number 3 most disgusting fact about Muhammad: Muhammad swapped spit with little boys. In Bukhari's Al-Adab al-Mufrad, 1183, we read, "Then he said, 'Where is the little one? Call the little one to me.' Hassan came running and jumped into his lap. Then he put his hand in his beard. Then the Prophet, may Allah bless him and grant him peace, opened his mouth and put his tongue in his mouth. Then he said, 'O Allah, I love him, so love him and the one who loves him.'" According to another hadith, Musnad Ahmed 16245, Muhammad would suck on the tongues and lips of little boys. But fear not, he also guaranteed that if he sucked on a boy's tongue or lips, that boy's tongue or lips would never be tormented by hellfire. Creepiness factor 1,000,000. The number 2 most disgusting fact about Muhammad: Muhammad would have sex with 9 women and girls, but only take 1 bath. Sahih al-Bukhari, 5068. Narrated Anas, the Prophet used to go round, have sexual relations with all his wives in one night, and he had 9 wives. Sahih al-Bukhari, 5215. Narrated Anas bin Malik, the Prophet used to pass by, have sexual relation with all his wives in one night, and at that time he had 9 wives. So we're clear on the sex with 9 women and girls part, but check out the chapter heading of this hadith: "Whoever had sexual intercourse with all his wives and then took 1 bath only." The Prophet Muhammad, history's greatest man, would have sex with 9 women and girls in one night In Medina, the armpit of Arabia, a city with an average high temperature of 109 degrees in the summer, but would only take one bath. Can you think of a problem?
臭すぎた。マジで。
There's one more fact on our list. The number one most disgusting fact about Muhammad was constantly covered in semen. Yeah, I said it. But don't trust me, trust his child bride, Aisha. Sahih al-Bukhari, 232, narrated Aisha, I used to wash the semen off the clothes of the Prophet, and even then I used to notice one or more spots on them. Sahih Muslim 669. It was narrated that Aisha said concerning semen, I used to scratch it from the garment of the Messenger of Allah. Sunan Ibn Majah 537. It was narrated that Aisha said, I often scraped it, semen, from the garment of the Messenger of Allah with my hand. Aisha, the semen-scraping prepubescent child bride.
めっちゃキモい。どうなるの？めっちゃキモいんだけど。
Muslims of the world, why was your prophet always covered in semen? Why was your prophet always covered in his own semen? Masturbation wasn't allowed, so where was all of this semen coming from?